Hi there, my name is Daniel, and I'm the pastor at the People's Mission. As you already know, here at the Mission, we have many ministries that happen on a weekly basis, but on a bi-weekly basis as well. And one of the new things we started at the end of last year was a discussion group that would meet on a monthly basis. Participants would gather together, typically in somebody's home. We would have hot drinks, coffee, tea, goodies, and we would have gathered together having previously read chapters in a chosen book, and we would gather together and discuss each chapter and to work through them together. And the chosen text that we were working through was a book, a small little book titled Comprehensive Spirituality by Ellis Potter. It's under 100 pages in length. I'll read just a few lines from the back of the cover to help you better understand the contents of the book. And it says here, this book explores the spiritual nature of people as originally created by God and the spirituality of the resurrected Christ. It helps people to understand the lordship of Christ over all of life. And so we've finished reading this book. We've completed it just a little while ago. And so what I'd like to do is to give you an update on the journey, on what the negative things were about it, but also what the positive things were about working through this together in our discussion group. And we had anywhere from 8 to 9 people participating in that over the course of a number of months. And so let's start with the negatives. The negative thing about the book, one of the comments that kept coming up in our times together was that the language just wasn't accessible. Although Ellis writes in a very simplistic way. It's almost too simplistic. It left you wanting more explanation. And there were times where we would finish a paragraph or a chapter, or even with some of the sentences, and you were left wondering, well, what does he mean by that? You would have liked maybe a footnote for a further reading or a citation to help you better understand what it was that he was getting at. And I suppose for a discussion group, that gave us opportunity to discuss it. But it was one of the negatives, I suppose, about the book was that although it was designed to be simplistic, it was almost too simplistic and needed further clarification. But one of the positives about the book is that it was a helpful reminder that to be spiritual isn't something that you do. It's something that you are. And for the Christian, Christ is to be at the very center of all that we do. And what Ellis has done in the book is that each chapter takes on a different topic. And so we've got creativity, rationality, morality, emotions, language, relationships, the body. And in each of these chapters, he hones in on the fact that Christ needs to be at the very center of all these things for us to be truly spiritual, at least in the way God originally designed us to be. And so that Christ needs to reign and rule in how we use our creativity, how we handle our emotions, what we do with our relationships, how we handle them, and so forth, so on and so forth. And so it was a good reminder that spirituality isn't limited to an hour a week or to a certain program, but it's all that we are, and Christ needs to reign and rule in all that we do on the Christian journey. And so we've finished the book. We were done with this book for now. We've taken a break with the discussion group over the summer months. We plan to start again in autumn, where we will be working together through the book by Timothy Keller, The Reason for God. And so if you'd like to be a part of an upcoming discussion group, buy that book by Timothy Keller, The Reason for God, start reading it, and reach out to us. Let me know that you want to be a part of it, and I'll give you the information as we draw closer to autumn. And so if you're watching this and you've never been a part of a discussion group, you don't know what it is, and you're asking questions, well, why would I join a discussion group? There's actually 6 reasons that I think you should join a discussion group. And the first reason is that it promotes collaborative learning. It also improves social skills. You're getting together and you're having to talk to one another and work through ideas that perhaps aren't familiar to you. It improves commitment as well. It takes time, it takes discipline to work through a book, and it takes time and discipline to finish a book as well. But it also forges incredible relationships, and that's one of the truly wonderful things about the discussion group, is that it brings people together, and you can pull and you can push and you can talk and you can agree and disagree, and it's all part of the learning experience. And then, of course, it encourages ongoing learning, that we don't know everything, and somebody might have a different perspective that we hadn't thought of before that might help us better understand the topic at hand. And then lastly, it encourages spiritual formation. It encourages us to develop and to explore our relationship with God, but also God's people as we gather together, considering discipleship, wanting to learn and wanting to grow closer to Jesus Christ. And so those are some of the reasons. If you would like more information, please reach out to us. Thanks for watching. Be encouraged. God bless, and we hope to see you soon.